Oh, I didn't even transition. Well, hello, welcome to Off the Line Racing. We didn't have our little spicy little transition we normally get before it brings us in, and we are back for Division One for round 7 as we get ourselves over for the lovely Marina Bay Street Circuit over in Singapore with its 19 turns, 4.940 kilometer long circuit, and 4 DRS zones with 3 detection points. There are 7 right turns, 12 left turns, and of course, plenty of barriers that can meet your end. First made its introduction in 2008 and is the first night race in Formula One history, which saw Fernando Alonso win in a controversial victory in that Renault back in those days. In 2023, went through a track layout change from 23 turns down to 19, got rid of one of the more technical parts of the track where you had to navigate through and under a bridge, which saw a lot of drivers their end of their Grand Prix as well. Could really put you in an unfortunate situation and made it ever difficult to overtake. But now with that back straight, we'll now open the door for some potential overtakes to come your way. My name is Corey Brooks, one of your 2 commentators for this evening. Join with me in the booth, it's Ryan Hurren. How are we doing, my friend?
Good, good. Looking forward to this one. Singapore is one of my favourite circuits, one that I think is overhated, really. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it brings quite a lot of carnage, and yeah, it's always a fun watch.
Well, we have just gone to the track as we did our little spicy introduction then. Qualifying, 18 minutes to get underway. But are you looking at what I'm looking at, Ryan? Because it's a little bit wet, it's a bit greasy, and it's a bit damp here for Division 1. It was dry yesterday for Division 2. Well, these drivers have certainly got to have their wits about them if they want to try and hope to get the best lap possible, because it's certainly intermediate conditions.
Here's another thing that Ghost has pointed out. It's raining, but it's also set to daytime.
That is absolutely correct. Qualifying is in the day for some reason.
It shouldn't be. I don't know if that voids the session or something when we need a reset, but I think
Well,
with the rain, it doesn't matter.
we had to undergo one lobby restart due to how the EA invites were bugged ever slightly, but we managed to get things going relatively quickly in comparison, only around about a 5 minute delay before we got things going and got speaking and underway. But for Glitch 10, first to the track, this is where the track may be at its best compared to the likes of later on. If this rain is not shifting or going anywhere, it could get ever worse, ever greasy on that tarmac. And if they can't get a dry line formed, it's going to prove treacherous later on.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw in 2022 what the wet could do to this circuit. I mean, what you had Hamilton crashing, Verstappen doing a double lockup. It's just such a treacherous circuit.
It certainly is. Barriers everywhere. Barely anywhere to run off. There are no gravel traps to slow you down. No grass, and like I said, barely any runoff that could aid you if you run it deep into some corners like here as we get going around turn 10 and 11 and up towards turn number 12. Well, out of turn 12 now towards 13. This is where things get a little bit treacherous, especially with it being wet. You need to be on those brakes to get the rotation around the hairpin style corner before you would have been aided with DRS to finish sector 2 towards turn 14, which again, this gives you a little bit of runoff. It's very easy to invalidate your lap there because you see the white line just covering over where Glitch 10 was driving. That is track limits. Very easy to invalidate here in Singapore, especially coming out of turn 14.
Yeah, and of course, for one thing, the drivers aren't going to be pushing to the absolute limits, especially in the trickier wet conditions, because one mistake, and, well, we all remember Lance Stroll's crash in 2023, and that isn't the biggest that you can have around here.
No, absolutely not. It can certainly be race ending for yourself and others. You could, make yourself a roadblock if you end up hitting the barrier in the wrong place and just completely gridlock an entire sector with how this track can be very tight and tricky. It's also very bumpy as well. So it's very easy to unsettle the car in certain corners. You've got to be very on the limit with the braking. Cautious on the steering, cautious on your throttle inputs, on your exits. You don't want to risk lighting up the tyres. It's also known to be very humid as well, so engine temperatures in that dirty air, in that train, can hinder your performance as well.
Yeah, we see Glitch 10 on this flying lap, now heading in towards turn, oh god, is that 9? Yeah, turn 9. And towards the infamous Singapore sling, which unfortunately is no longer with us in its full glory from back when it was, what, like 4 turns in the space of 2 seconds. It was awful corner. But now over the Anderson Bridge and into the hairpin we go, rounding onto the second of the DRS straights on the lap. On third DRS straight. And of course, I believe now on this game, between turns 14 and 16 is also DRS, which matches real life. But Hen, I don't think pushing anymore on this lap. He seemed like he might have lifted down the straight.
I don't know. It's trying to anticipate the worst. Now, drivers in wet conditions, what they like to do is they like to fuel up for multiple runs because the tyres can last a lot longer than they would in the softs on a qualifying lap. Like, no, I bet he's only on maybe 2% wear after that lap, and he can go again and again and burn off the fuel, get the tyres to a better window, and bring that lap time down some. But for Glitch 10, a 43.6 is the fastest he can produce as Banana crosses the line. It's a 44.4, so almost a second away, 8/10 separating those two. Glitch 10 able to find the time where it was needed over his rival. Bobby Lyons goes ever quicker, only by half a tenth though, as the VCAM took the checkered flag. We see some drivers going into the pits. The Aston Martin's crossed the line. Max Housley, who's taken 2 victories thus far in Division 1, has only good enough for a 43.8 on that initial banker lap. Next we see Geordie, new driver making his debut, power down towards the line in these wet conditions, a 43.9, not too far away from the front lot. Good banker time to get out there. Now, has he got the fuel to recharge and go again? Some drivers, like I say, like to go a little bit longer, extra fuel, get the tyres working a lot better for them.
Yeah, and it just helps you build that confidence as you do get used to the grip, like you said. I mean, we've got Eric now on a lap for Williams. It's one thing as well that despite, the varying amounts of confidence, we've already got 4 drivers within 4/10 of each other as Eric goes up with a 1:45.2. So, spread quite far between Banana and Swifty there.
Ashton the Brett, the final 2. The Alpine reservist coming up from Division 2. And also Division 3 commentator. Oh, a bit of a disastrous lap. They're only going up for a 47. As was that Ghost to go through for a 44.6. So not there in the 43s just yet. It's good to you mention that 4/10 gap even now. And there goes another driver to get into that 43. So now 5 drivers. Ratty, who's also taken a victory this season and was leading the drivers' standings before his teammate took it back. It's a McLaren 1-2 in that championship, and they are leading the constructors. It's sort of like what you're seeing right now in real life. The McLarens are just being dominant. As there goes Marius Anderson to go 8/10 quicker than his teammate, and further proves my point of McLaren dominance in this season.
It's interesting. We've kind of come full circle back to round 1 already, where of course Marius took the win with Ratty in second.
Boss Moss.
Yeah, Boss Moss with a 42.8. Beautiful lap for the Works Mercedes. And is it? Swifty has just tried to enter the pits but missed and jumped over the curb. So sketchy moment there. I think Alonso in the Aston Martin did that last season, if I remember correctly, or it might have been the season before.
Well, I was on board with PW Jones, who has invalidated that lap. If he's got the fuel, we'll be going again. But
Eric's
the dry
up.
line's starting to form a little bit. If Eric is up on his time, we'll have a quick little nosy as he crosses the line. He does go up to P4, 2.5 up to track condition. Certainly getting better for some drivers. And those that have chose to go a little bit longer, for the likes of Eric, has found that improvement into the 43s. Now, a lot of drivers are back into the pits. Max Geordie, Swifty, William Jonas yet to set a lap. As we see Alex 21 now come out of the pits to try and set his first opening time lap on the board. Still waiting for Jonesy to produce a lap, but with an invalidation yet. Still needs to get around to start another lap unless he goes into the pits for refuel and maybe a fresh set of those intermediate tyres. William Jonas still waiting it out. But something to point out, Swifty is serving with Eric a 3-place grid penalty. So even if Eric was to get pole, he will be starting P3, and wherever he finishes in qualifying, you can add 3 places on top of that, as well as the Aston Martin down there of Swifty, who's currently P11.
I think it's either stopped raining or there's not much, as Bobby Lyons goes up to a 1:42.2. The 4/10 ahead of Marius Anderson. I think that's actually meant to be Leon, as in the football club. But Malium Jonas has had a power cut, so he's not in the session anymore.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, so he's had a power cut. I don't know if he's going to be back. I'm going to try, and I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Um,
Be quiet, Ricky. Ricky's
Why,
calling me out in the chat because I said with a 3 players from P1, he'll be P3. You want, he'll be P4. Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
I wasn't paying much attention because I was trying to get Jonas back in.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, with a 3 players, he'll go from first down to P3.
Hang on. Ratty has just gone 7/10 up through the second sector. So
What I will say, Malium Jonas, being the South African, I know they're subject to load shedding. So his power cut is probably load shedding, and he won't be, maybe not be back because sometimes it can vary up to an hour. So I reckon he's load shedding.
Baron has abandoned hope of joining as well, unfortunately. Ratty goes to P3. So that's a 1:42.8, 75 milliseconds ahead of Bossmos. Marius is going to be next over the line. He's improving massively as well. It's going to be a 41.7.
Oh my word.
So the times are tumbling. Jonesy across the line now to finally set a lap. It's a 43.1. Max Housley starting. Geordie is going to be starting. We've got Bossmos coming around the final chicane, but he is invalidated.
Alex 21 further back just finished 15 now in the DRS straight that doesn't allow your rear wing open because it's raining. You know, you were not going to let you go faster in wet conditions. You will die. That's all I'm going to say on that. Well, yeah. Oh, Alex 21 almost getting too friendly with the barriers. And of course, coming out of those final corners, the wall out of 17 comes at you very quickly as he does set a 41.8. Starts to challenge Marius Anderson. Alex 21 could be a contender, helping Ferrari along, which is needed most. Glitch 10 is doing it all for Ferrari at the minute, as Cooper Fan not joining us. Had a stinker last time out as well.
I never actually checked the penalties. I don't know if he got reported or not.
Well,
I don't think he actually did.
There's quite a few grid drops. Only 2 are being served today. So 4 reports that served penalties. 4 drivers that was in those reports, all DNF. Therefore, they've been faced with the rule book, aka my Bible, and you have been given a 3-place grid drop.
Corey be like, I'm not religious, but
yeah, I'm not religious, but when I'm stewarding in OTLR, yeah, that is my Bible, and I swear by it.
Banana coming up to the line now. A 1 second improvement will jump him up to P5 and actually gets up to P4. So improved better than I foretold. Max Housley will be next over the line. This looks like a really good improvement for the Aston Martin driver. It's a 42.2 for the Aston. Geordie next over the line. And it's provisional pole with a 41.3. What a lap for Geordie. As Bossmos will be next over the line. Both Mercedes improving massively as it's a 41.1 Bossmos onto provisional pole.
Oh, Bossmos, we know is a worthy contender for challenging those McLaren duo. He's come to blows with Marius Anderson in the past. They've raced hard, raced fair, and now they're looking to carry on in round 7 in season 4. Now, things are starting to spice up. Bossmos isn't really there in championship. He's not within a good contention for winning any sort of driver's position, but he can certainly make things difficult for those ahead as Glitch 10 goes faster, which he needs to do to help himself along in the championship. He's sat 4th at the minute.
Ooh, Swifty just had a massive snap coming through the final double left. Definitely cost him a couple tenths there. He improved up to a 42.7. I got there eventually. Ghosts will be next over the line, but he is invalidated, so he's going to start again. Ratty is next. He's improving massively. Was leading the championship until last week. And where can this lap put him? 41.1. It's P2 by just under 0.2 of a second.
Banana into the pits. Is that Jones?
Ashton.
45. Struggling in the wet conditions is the Division 2 reserve driver, who is next to come towards the line. It's an Aston Martin in the pits. And is that a V-Cab? Oh, sorry, a Racing Bulls. You know, the team that changed their name more than, I don't know, They just.
I thought of something, but I can't say that. So. Oh, Eric's crashed.
I
To go
mean,
on board with glitched hen, he's dropped it and he's into the barriers. So Eric will, I believe, be guaranteed starting last now because of his grid penalty.
yeah, that's unfortunate for Eric there. He's not going to improve, which he needed to. But facing that three-place grid drop, he's not really losing anything anyway. He was facing a penalty, so it is what it is. Last to wherever is that your aim? So no, in Division 2 yesterday, we saw Juice go from P10 to P2 on strategy, and just general race pace was really able to pull something out. So never say never for some drivers starting at the back of the field. The game is proving difficult to overtake for some, but for those that are able to make it work, have pulled back some masterclass races.
Ghost is coming up to the line. So we'll see where his lap goes. But also, speaking of pulling it back, Marius Anderson last week, of course, he had a good recovery. Started P7 or 8 and ended up winning. But Ghost goes for a 140-1-4, comfortably ahead of, as I mentioned, Marius Anderson. And that is P5. He's 33 milliseconds behind Geordie now.
Oh my word, that pit lane is torrential. Everybody's coming in now for fresh tyres, and we'll be getting ready for the final runs as we hit that 3-minute mark left in qualifying.
Bobby Leon is on a lap. And we'll see where the number 40 goes for the Racing Bulls team. It's a 40.2 provisional pole by 0.7 of a second, Corey.
Beautiful lap, much needed there for Bobby, as he may be now on a bit of a recharge, because is that his qualifying done, or can he go one more time? The track evolution gets better lap after lap.
He can't pit, that's for certain.
Yeah, but has he got the fuel to do one more, or is this it? Is he done here and now? Is he just running slow, recharge the battery a bit, and then wait for that final second? He's still got 2 minutes to make it to the checkered flag. Like I say, in intermediate conditions, I would rather overfuel and go for a couple runs, because the tyres are in a better window 2 to 3 laps in than they are on that initial first push lap. That's a fact.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So maybe, never say never, Bobby's got one more in the tank.
I hope he does for his sake, because the track evolution is looking very strong, continually improving throughout the session. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, considering it's wet Singapore, I'm surprised we've only got a 5-second field spread.
Well, I think Goss will be the first to take us away. He's certainly doing a double out lap, because this is a 54-55 as he hits the line. And now we'll start that timed lap. Comes down towards turn 1, trying to hooks it in to the apex, but keep the car as straight as possible, because turn 2 comes right at you. You get a little bit of a rotation around it before you harsh on the brakes to try to kick it around. Turn number 3 goes Goss. And now flat to the floor once again, coming towards the treacherous turns 4 and 5. Well, 4's a little kink. This is turn 5. And that wall comes at you very, very quickly. It's very easy to clip it and damage that front left end plate, which will prove devastating on your lap.
Yeah, now down Raffles Boulevard into Memorial. This is a tricky corner. You need to hit the apex on the inside and kind of glide onto the curb on the outside. But if you scrape the plank on it, it's your lap done. And if you go over it, it's your lap done. So it's a very, very fine margin. And now through towards turn 10 he goes. It's looking a good lap so far through the Singapore Sling and onto the Anderson Bridge, where there have been many a crash in many a series. Rounding turn 13.
Ooh.
And so close.
Oh, was that close? Did he tap it? Rear end maybe? That was very close, but he's still around half a second up on his time so far. He's looking to break into the 40s, but it's not enough just yet. Still got one sector to go though, Ryan. He could pull this out.
Yeah, through Esplanade now and towards turn, 16. The final chicane is over. Oh, it's not looking as good as other laps. I'll be completely honest.
Nah, he's looking a bit squabbly. He's looking like he's struggling. He's going to power towards the line. He's in the 40s and 40.6. It's not enough, but it's close. Is he going to fall down the order? We have a Mercedes coming towards the line.
Banana.
Who may that be? That is Banana, who struggled in this qualifying, previous season champion. Goes provisional pole with a 40 flat almost. Is anybody else to pull some time back? If Banana can do it, certainly other drivers can. Alex, a driver that looked quick early on. He's 1.4 seconds up on the Delta thus far. He comes out of the final two, crosses the line. Oh, he's a 39.7. He breaks into the 39s, but there's still more drivers to go. Alex, provisional pole. Glitch 10.
Invalidated. He's
Oh.
invalid. It's all over for Glitch 10 here in Marina Bay. So the next car over the line is Bobby Leon, then Max Housley, then Boss Moss. It's so many quick drivers in a row. Geordie is invalidated. He's got the two McLarens behind him. Then it's Hen and Jonesy. But Bobby Leon's rounding the final corner. Can he improve? Back up onto pole position. He was there before. He's there again. It's a 39.7. Max Housley up to P3. Boss Moss to provisional pole. Where can Ratty and Marius Anderson place their cars? Marius up to provisional pole. Ratty goes to P2. PW Jones is next over the line. Only P11. And where can Swifty place his car? Oh, he's invalidated. But a McLaren 1-2 seemingly out of nowhere.
Oh, once again, the McLaren's proving to be a dominant force here. We've seen it before in off-the-line racing with Alpines, but now he's the McLaren's time to shine. Marius Anderson, your driver's standing leader, championship leader for the two, locking out that front row. Marius Anderson 1, Ratty 2, Boss Moss making a little bit of a unknown moment in the mix, getting P3 with Bobby Leon's coming in for his debut again in P4. Alex reserve driving that Ferrari in 5th. Max Housley, Banana, Jay Ghost, Glitch 10 and Geordie doing your top 10. Just outside of that, PW Jones, Swifty, Eric, who's facing 3 grids, will be dropped to 15th, followed by Ashton in 14th and Ashton in 13th, Malcolm Jonas in 14th. So Eric will be 15th, falling down with that grid penalty. Swifty, wherever he finished, will be falling down as well. So you may see Ashton maybe up to 12th in this.
Glitched said he did a 1:38 on his invalid lap. So he would have been pole.
Oh yeah, Malian will be out of the lobby because of his power cut. Yeah, we do have the lobby restart coming. You're going to see everybody crash out now. I did explain to Jordy the procedure, so either retire or crash, do something in the first couple of seconds. And as we wait for this to get underway, now I will keep us on board as we always do. And you can see it's nice and sunny and shiny in Singapore, which is a little bit unknown to see in a league race. It's normally pitch black with a night sky, and you see those stars looming down. But you don't really see too many of them with the track lit up, light pollution playing that factor. But it's still nice to see it dark and nice to see the night sky. But there we go. The lights are being lit, and we're going to see everybody crash out into turn 1. I mean,
Singapore in the day hurts your eyes. I don't know if it's just me.
Cursed. That's cursed, isn't it?
Ready?
Oh, bosh. Here we go. Oh my god, Jay Goss has just done a complete 360. That was kind of fun. Marius Anderson is doing a practice start. Look at everybody else doing a practice start.
Corey, seriously, just penalise them.
Yeah. Come on, boys. Lawrence Patton has finished his race. Oh!
He didn't check in.
I know he didn't, but... Oh no, a reserve got called. Never mind. But the reserve isn't here. All I can say is...
Ricky!
Realistically, by my Bible, I can't allow it.
Shall I tag Ricky?
But Bossman is watching. Bossman is watching. He sees everything. Right, Max, are you going to retire or what, bro? This is... you're worse than Glitched at this point.
I don't know if he's there. Oh yeah, he's speeding. Oh. Ricky. Alright.
Right. Yeah, we need to have a meeting about this, because what is the need for this? Why is he running a full lap? What is the need? It's a restart procedure. You just restart. I mean, you don't get this in real race situations. Why do you feel the need to run a practiced installation lap? There's just no need for it. You're delaying the start. You're delaying everything for what purpose? Because inevitably you're probably going to get jumped off the start because everybody else behind you was crashing. You're not really running a real scenario. You're just getting a feel for it off the start. You're under no pressure. There's nobody side by side with you. It's pointless running that practice start. I will say that. So it's not really going to benefit you in the race because if there's somebody side by side into turn one, you ain't taking the optimum line, are you? But anyway, we come back to our commentators' corner. We're going to have a quick little chat, a little word about the driver's standings and some spicy information to come your way. But for now, we will take a look at the standings so you can see how this championship is looking on this one-sided sort of display from the McLaren team. But you can't count out the fact that the Haas driver Lawrence Patton was well and truly in the mix. However, unable to make it tonight, has had to decline and almost made it, but he couldn't. The result got called and they're not here. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're not getting into that. It's Marius Anderson leading the way. 4 points behind him is his teammate. So them two could come down to a teammate fight towards the end of the season for the actual championship. Papaya rules, are they even a thing between these two drivers as they lead it away in constructors by quite a margin? Other than that, we have Glitch 10 in fourth in the Ferrari, who's doing well so far in this midpoint of the season to score back much needed points which were lost out at the start to help him along in his championship fight or championship charge. Glitch 10, not unknown to championship fights. He's been there in the past in OTLR history with one of the most famous seasons we ran in season 1 against Leon that went down to the final round, which saw Leon take that championship. One of my favourite seasons in Off the Line racing, that one. The entire season was all out action all the way through and everybody was fighting very, very hard in that first season. The championship came down to between Glitch 10 and Leon, which Leon took it. Then he took season 2, so it was 2 in a row for Leon back then, but no longer with us. Just a good little history lesson for you from Off the Line Racing if you weren't here back then. Max Housley, late addition into the season, into Division 1 in Season 4. He sat there in 5th after scoring 2 victories, I think. Am I right with that? Yeah, 2 victories and a podium and then just some points along the line, which is helping him to stay well and truly in that fight. Now, you look at how close those top 5 are, only 14 points separating them. So with one good race and the rest having a disaster, it could see anybody take the lead here tonight. Before we get out of that, there's a 19-point gap to Aiden Evans, reserve driver. Again, reserve drivers score points in championships, so if you're a reserve, get in here, fight for that win. It is all for something. You are still in contention for that. Boss Moss in 7th, just 1 point behind that reserve driver, where PW Jones, Jay Gorse are in the 30s with 39 and 35, and Banana just 24 points on that, doing the top 10 in the driver's standings. Cooper Fan not doing too well here for his Ferrari team. It's Glitch 10 leading them along, but sitting them 4th in the constructors thus far. He's there in 21 points with Hacker on 18. Ethan Davis, Max Law, Alabono, Mariam Jonas, Ghosty Jr. and Sid CTB1. Division 2 reserve driver. Mentioned how reserves can score points. He sat there on 1 point down in 19th after scoring last time out. And then Hilly with 0 points sat there in 20th. On to the constructors. Very, very one-sided thus far. The McLarens have been strong all the way through, leading with 46 points. But it still could only take one good points finish for the Haas to be right back in there in the fight, provided both drivers are here at the time. Aston Martin just behind them on 97 points, followed by Ferrari, with Glitch 10 being the leading point scorer, 64 points out of those 79. Mercedes just behind them, but with Boss Moss here today, proving critical on the pace, could prove to be the denominating factor against those Ferraris, with both Mercedes drivers being here tonight. Banana, previous season champion as well, worthy contender for race victories. Does he have the pace here tonight in Singapore? But the Racing Bulls are in 6th on 53, Alpine on 40. Kick Sauber not even in the double digits, with Red Bull and Williams finishing off the constructors. But like we mentioned with the divisions, a newly unofficial official division that's come out of nowhere is Division 3. You may have noticed it on a Monday, running by Ashton the Brett, a driver that is joining us here tonight. And here is the schedule for Season 4. So you can see approximate AI levels, so you know that if you are racing between the AI of 70 and 90, you're a perfect fit for our Monday division, which runs at 8 p.m. BSC, 9 p.m. CET, and that is Division 3 on Mondays. Tuesday, joined by Division 2. If you was here with us yesterday, you would have seen the action go around Singapore circuit. AI level approximate between that is 90 to 105, and then you get to our top tier here in Division 1, where drivers AI level is estimated 105 to 110. So there's a little insight for you around where our divisions are placed in terms of AI. So if you do play career you're a big career driver along the lines of 85 to 90 AI, get in here. Don't be discouraged. There is a division just for you. Oh, now I can say, Ryan, with the utmost certainty, we are ready to go racing. The grid is set. The drivers are readied up. We are missing one driver, that being Marion Jonas, with that power cut he saw in qualifying. We'll not see him start the Grand Prix, but for now, we've got 31 laps of Singapore action to come your way, and hopefully it's at night, and hopefully we don't have that spot of weather that we saw in qualifying.
It is night. I've checked.
Fantastic, fantastic. We are running a night race. Qualifying may have been a bit distracting for some drivers, but for the McLaren boys, once again, it's a 1-2.
I don't think it would have made much difference because it was raining.
Well, that as well, yeah. Was a bit bleak, no shadows on the track, no sun shining down. So again, that's one of the problems. We tried to run in midday to avoid the shadows that can litter the track and block the racing line and make it pretty much impossible to see the racing line for those that don't drive with the racing line assist. So we run it midday, but for night tracks, of course, it's night. The track is lit with all those lights. You can see everything nice and clear as day. And now we're getting ready to go racing.
Yeah.
Ready to rock and roll, ready to rock and roll. And what I can tell you is that we are taking to the pit lane and it is dry. These drivers are not going to see that wet weather unless it is changing conditions. Don't forget it's approximate weather. So it could change. It could all go up in the air at just a click of a finger. I think last time we saw rain fairly easy, Miami.
Yeah, it started dry and then ended up raining quite early.
Like 3, I think.
Most people started on the... No, it was about 5 or 6, I think. But people started on the hards. And then we were thinking, oh, it must be raining, you know, relative, like about lap 15-ish. But then the rain came before lap 10. And it massively... I think somebody started on the softs and they propelled up the order. It might have been Boss Moss, actually.
But we are now about to go to pit lane, so you can join us for 31 laps as the drivers get themselves ready. And yeah, get the setup set. And wow, it's a good thing I called it because the lights are lit. It is 5 lights, and we are ready to go racing. Everybody's good to go, and it is go, go, go. And it's a good clean getaway from Marius Anderson, our race leader, under no threat from his teammate Rai, who's going to helpfully block that line. But Rai's going to swing it around to the inside. It's his teammate, that's Marius Anderson. He's took out his own teammate. I don't believe he's done it 2 races in a row. No! What do we even do with this race start? It's team papaya rules. The one thing you do not want to happen. The team has come together, and Ratty's at the back of the grid, absolutely seething, chomping at the bit. Again, once again, the McLarens have clattered. I don't believe what we've just seen. And though there's contact between what seems to be Glitch 10 and Eric, as Glitch 10's trying to make moves, and the contact with Jordan, and Glitch is sent for a spin. And now he needs to try and turn himself back around. Ratty goes through, still on the back of that pack, and Glitch has lost by massive time. What a disaster race start for some.
Yeah, and it's the 2 people that are properly chasing after Marius in the championship. So, Marius Anderson, I don't know if it seemed pretty 50-50 between the McLarens there. It just looked like a turn 1 sort of incident, a bit like Verstappen and Piastri in Abu Dhabi. But Glitched, understeer, I think.
Yeah, he's gone for a brave move and it's just not worked. So let's see what tyres everyone's on.
All mediums except Max Housley on the hards. So, already a massive gap between Bobby Leon and Alex. That's a 2-second gap already.
Right, he's already up to P11 with all that squabbling, with all that fighting. He's made back some crucial positions after a very, very controversial moment into turn 1 between teammates.
Eric has lost both his end plates. He's just gone off the track at turn 1. So, not quite sure what's happened to his front wing, but there's significant damage. Boss Moss going for a move on the outside of Marius Anderson into turn 7, grinds out over the curb and has to tuck in behind the McLaren man. And Boss Moss applying the pressure early on here, as now through Padang they go. And he's gaining on the McLaren in front. Obviously not going to launch a move into the Singapore sling as Max Housley goes for a move down the inside on Alex. Seems to force him off the track. Alex now under threat from Banana, who's going to be pushing to get through. He's had a good start to this race, running in P6 and down the inside. goes the Mercedes on the Ferrari. And unfortunately, the back end stepping out for Banana, who might now be under threat from J Ghosts.
Yeah, Ghost just trying to capitalise on all this squabbling ahead, get close to the rear diffuser of that Mercedes driver. He's not leaving any opportunity unscathed and missed out. Oh! I say that, he's had a massive moment and did very, very well to keep himself out of the barriers. Oh my word, Ghost. Great control of the car, though. This is, oh my, 3 laps and it's been absolute drama. For, oh my word, I can't with this Grand Prix. It's not what I was expecting when I was coming into Division 1 tonight. Jordy to the inside. Yeah.
I don't, before the race he was saying, oh, this is going to be awful. But no, it's actually turning out really good. And Boss Moss 4/10 back. I don't think that's close enough to launch a move into Memorial. But Banana's definitely close enough to Glitch 10. Gonna pull to the inside. And yeah, not even a challenge. Not Glitch 10, sorry, Alex. I'm not used to a reserve in the Ferrari. So
Not used to a Ferrari being that high up that isn't Glitch 10. That I can say, and I can vouch for you on that one. Glitch has had a disaster start, but he's caught back some crucial time. 1.7 behind Ashton the Brit, who is in a DRS train, who's, well, struggling to keep it thus far. 1 second now broken to Swifty ahead. Ashton just trying to stay in the pack and in the fight at this moment. Didn't do too well in qualifying, and he's struggling here thus far.
Ratty's on the back of PW Jones now, the Alpine man. Going to be trying to keep ahead of the McLaren. I'm not sure how effective that strategy is going to be, though. And I think one person who's gone unmentioned so far is Bobby Leon, who is 3 seconds ahead of Max and just holding on to Marius and Boss Moss. And Marius going for back-to-back wins here this evening. It'd be brilliant for his championship fight, especially after the contact with his teammate, which will definitely increase the gap as things stand. But yeah, Marius taking a very different line to Boss Moss through turn 3. But it's so close from P6 down to P12.
Currently watching Jay Ghost. He's getting mighty close to that rear diffuser of the Ferrari ahead. Could he be sizing up a move here under DRS? Alex is out of it. Jay goes to the inside. Easy done with that extra speed as we come down towards turn number 7. Finishing off that sector 1. Around 7 we go now. Back around number 8. The Ferrari almost tried to make a move to the inside to try and retake that position, but ultimately to no avail. Had to back out of that one to allow Jordy to close up a little bit more, who's under threat from Eric behind.
I was confused then, because as you said, the Ferrari almost made a move. Glitch Hen, the other Ferrari, made a move on Ashton the Brit into turn 7. So I was very confused there.
Alex struggling. Alex struggling. Oh, my word.
Is
Jordy all over the back of him there, yeah.
He's lost the DRS again, so the Sauber probably going to go for a move around the outside. And Alex manages to push him wide. And Eric is also getting involved here. Of course, he's going to have increased downforce, less downforce due to his wing damage. Side by side, the Works Ferrari car with one of its customers. And, I mean, that was a bit messy into turn 16. Both of them going off and cutting turn 17.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was a little bit messy, avoidable in that sense. Could play it a bit cleaner. But to no avail, there goes Eric for a spin. Caught you a ticket. Send me a postcard, mate.
Oh. How has he kept that still in P9?
He did well to correct that. He was like fully 90 degrees to the right. Oh. There goes Jordan. Eric's got damage on that front left. It was mentioned in the chat earlier by Tom. And, he's got complete damage.
I said that already twice.
Oh, did you? I've just read the chat.
Oh, down the inside, Alex! On PW Jones, contact between the two of them. And Ratty trying to make it 3 wide into Padang. That's not going to work out well. They're coming 3 wide towards the Singapore Sling. Oh, no. That's not a brilliant idea. Ratty getting past PW Jones, who loses the rear end. Glitched Hen now going side by side with the Alpine car. And now over the Anderson Bridge they go. Jonesy still holding firm, but no, unable to get back ahead of Glitched Hen. And all stemmed from Alex sending a move into Stamford. But Ratty now up into P9, so still making gains, and now has a 2.2 second gap to chase after P8 and 7.
We've seen this before from the McLaren duo. One of them having a disaster start, but still managed to pull back. So, oh no! Glitched Hen has swung it to the inside on his teammate. Alex had a bit of a moment, was a bit unsettled, and has been clipped and sent to the back of the field.
It looked like Alex was trying to let Glitched through. I was watching Alex, and then all of a sudden he's there at the apex of the corner as Glitched is. So that's the second time we've had teammates collide this race. Two different teams as well. Marius and Bossmos have now dropped Bobby Leon. So, and Max Housley, look at how much he's gained on these guys, or at least on Bobby. He is now only 1.1 behind when it was 3.2 not too long ago.
Yeah, pushing very hard to get back in that DRS, and I think he may do it in just a couple of corners' time. He's on the cusp, on the fringes. He's breaking in and out of that 1 second thus far. And as we approach the detection point coming over the Anderson Bridge, is he going to be able to get in it? It's on the cusp, and I think he may have picked it up at the right time, hitting that detection point. Or did he just lose out? No, he got it. Rear wing is open. Max Housley now free to close down, and Bobby Leon's ahead.
Yeah, good racing there. Ashton is right on the back of Swifty with Alex on his gearbox as well. Not really, he's just dropped back massively through turn 13. As now, I think Ashton could potentially go for a move on the reserve in the Aston Martin. So we've got the three reserves occupying the last three places on the track at the minute. As Max Housley goes for the move on Bobby Leon's and gets ahead into turn 1. I didn't notice that, unfortunately, but yeah, Max Housley up onto the podium.
It's not surprising for Max. He's really come into this season with a bit of a bang.
Oh! Geordie spun, and he's hit the wall, broken his front wing as well. So Geordie, the other... no, Geordie's not reserve, what am I saying? But yeah, Geordie, unfortunate for him, the front left of that car looking like it's been ripped apart by a tiger. As Ashton gets ahead of Swifty on the straight. But Ratty's already caught up to Eric. I wonder, was there contact between Eric and Geordie? Because they were racing quite close together there.
It happens. These drivers get very close together on a track like Singapore, where these walls are just coming at you from out of nowhere. It's difficult to go 2, even 3 wide in those moments. We saw a 3 wide moment earlier on, Ryan, but even for 2 wide moments, especially coming around the corners, it's proving tricky. We see drivers pushing each other wide, trying to get the better optimum line to get the exit right, and it's just a tricky track. It is one of those tracks that's difficult for overtaking, but these drivers here are making plenty of opportunities thus far. Glitched Hen now closing to the back of Ratty. 2 potential rivals later on, which, I don't know, was unseen at the start of the Grand Prix, but they got the first share of moments as Glitched Hen dives to the inside. He may have run it a bit deep. He's opened the door for Ratty to fight it back. He dives to the outside line, does the McLaren driver, but has to fall back in line as we get to the final 2 turns. Now we'll have an opportunity to try and fight it back, unless Glitched Hen can close up to Eric. Eric's still struggling with that wing damage.
Alex has just got past Swifty towards the rear of the field as well. And into shears they go. No move being made for Swifty there. Geordie has pitted with that wing damage. And Max Housley dropping away still from Marius and Bossmos. I say that and he immediately starts gaining through all the next corners, which is just typical, isn't it? But I'm amazed that that Eric is keeping ahead of Glitched here, even now, even with the wing damage for that Williams driver. It's a commendable effort.
I mean, yeah, he sort of got the car in a balanced state, but he's still lacking serious downforce, but he's managing well on a track that needs some downforce to navigate these horrible corners. Now, especially coming out of here in turn 13, this is going to be one of those corners where you're going to see the difference on the grip, where he really needs to slow the car down to get the rotation round, lacking that front end downforce, but he's still doing well to get through these turns and keep that Ferrari at bay. Glitch 10 now, he's suffering on these tyres. We've hit the point around 7-8 laps where the drop off on mediums just comes out of nowhere and you find it difficult to find more pace. They start to slip and slide. So now it's about management, make them last a little bit longer. I mean, yesterday we was expecting the boxing to come around 13, 14. As we see Bobby Leons go for that 2-stop strategy. He's in the pits already.
I was going to say, that's quite surprising for Bobby Leons, as Glitch 10 does get ahead of Eric into turn 1. But the 2-stop surely isn't the right way to go around here, because it's the longest pit lane of the calendar. Do you reckon the tyre delta is that strong?
In a track like this, I would believe so. That's just with a tyre deficit. You'd think
Oh, here goes Eric.
Oh, Eric to the outside, trying to fight by that position. He's off the track. Understeering. I think he's going to have to give that back, as he rightly does. That would have been an illegal taken off the track and does fall back in line behind Glitch 10. But like we go with a tyre pace, like if they've done 10 laps on hards and you're boxing for your final set of meets, say, for example, has Bobby gone on to hards at this point, or has he gone back to meets? He's on hards, right? So he's finishing meets.
Bobby and Swifty have both pitted onto hards.
So they're finishing on medium tyres now. When the hards have done 10, 11 laps already, and you're on fresh mediums, that's a huge difference.
You do make a good point with that one, but I'm just looking and... Oh, my voice gave up for a second then. But Glitch 10 still just holding this train now. It looks like he's trying to pull Eric along so that Ratty can't put him under pressure. A bit of a Carlos Sainz moment. There's Alex and Ashton going side by side through turn 17, and Alex getting ahead into P10.
So you just behind him. Bobby Leons closing.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the 2-stop is a viable strategy around here. I mean, I've not touched this track on this game since launch, but yeah, definitely surprised. And like I said, Ratty looks a lot closer than 5/10, but I think crucially, you look at Max Housley, who started on the hards. He is now right there with Marius and Bossmos.
He's on the cusp of DRS once again. He's got Banana, and Bobby Leons, who was following him quite close behind, has boxed for a 2-stop strategy. So now Max is free, under no pressure, to try and gain that time back. And he has got the tyre advantage being on the hards over everyone else on the mediums.
So do you reckon Max is going to be going for the 1-stop, starting on the hards?
I think maybe it's his possibilities, his options, but starting on the hard does give you that option to either 1-stop or 2-stop. Whereas if you start mediums and you get to around lap 7, you've only got really one choice. You box now or it is a 1-stop. Like, it's simple as 7, 8, maybe 9 laps on the mediums to make it viable. And you're literally faced with the option. But with Max Housley now, he could box any time and make the 2-stop happen in that sense from here and now up to, say, lap 16, 17.
And Bobby. Oh! Sorry, Corey. Contact between Bobby Leons and Alex. Bobby going around the outside. Alex stuck a nose in the inside. And, yeah, Alex has been pitched around. Now pitting those tyres. The amount of times he's been sideways are going to be absolutely cooked right now. Bossmos is actually dropping off the back of Marius Anderson. He's dropping off quite a bit here. He might lose the DRS.
It's close, but it's only going to allow Max to put the pressure on the front runners. I mean, he's done well thus far. Didn't have too good a qualifying. I think qualified P5, but started on the hards, making them work thus far. The mediums are starting to drop off very, very aggressively, and Max is now benefiting from that. But don't forget, he's also ran 10 laps, so his hards are going to be feeling a little bit worse for wear as he closes down on this gap. He's now going to start to be affected as well by that dirty air of Bossmos ahead, so that's not going to do him any favours as he's trying to extend these hard tyres and potentially push for that 1-stop.
Bossmos has lost the DRS there, and yeah, it's only a matter of time before Max gets past him now. I mean, this is the sort of perfect time where Marius should hold Bossmos in his own DRS, which he was doing for a very long time, as it did stop Max from gaining. but as Alex picks up a 3-second time penalty, Banana comes into the pits, and I think Eric has. Oh, Eric's sped into the pit lane. I'm not surprised with that wing damage. Just a misjudgment on the brakes. Here goes Max Housley. And ahead into turn 7. It almost looked like he chopped off the front of Bosmos there. But yeah, good move for Max. And now he chases after Marius Anderson.
He does indeed. With PW Jones bringing the challenge to Ratty, looking for an outside line, not coming his way just yet. A good potential switchback for PW Jones. We know he likes his switchbacks, and it's not coming his way just yet. All over the back of that McLaren driver, who's certainly suffering with the tyre drop-off as well as everybody else. Now, one thing I can say about PW Jones is he's got a well-known name for tyre management and just staying clean and out of trouble. So keep your eye on Jones here to just pick up the pieces of all these squabbles and battles that end in disaster.
I was going to say, I don't think I've actually seen Jonesy hit another car before. So, at least him hitting another car, not another car hitting him.
I don't think you will.
No. He's just... You know the chill guy meme?
He is
He's the chill guy.
He is the definition of the chill guy meme, yeah.
But Housley's really catching Marius here, isn't he? It's down to 1.1. Yeah, those hards are the superior tyre. I know the one stop is definitely possible from the mediums. If you can take them to the mediums 12 laps. Like if you take them to 13, you can do the other 18 on the hards easily. It's only 5 laps more. So the one stop is extremely likely. I think anyone who's stayed out will be doing a one stop for sure at this point in the race.
Yeah, well, we're past the 2-stop window to be viable for the medium runners. If you was hards, it's still a potential open strategy. But for those medium runners, they're well and truly out of that window. They will be fully committed to one stop now. Like I say, yesterday we was expecting pits 13, 14, 15. And for Marius Anderson, it's looking more like around the 14, 15 mark. We'll see how those mediums are faring for him. I mean, he's got no reason to box yet. He's leading. He's maybe under threat from Max behind, the tie deficit, of course. But Max has still got a strategy to implement where Marius will then be on hard tyres and he'll be on fresher tyres over Max's current tyres. He's got to go a couple laps longer. He can gain back some time. And this is where strategy plays a crucial factor.
Yeah, and also you got to factor in the traffic as well, because 27-second pit stop, I think it is. There's plenty of traffic all around the grid, and that is Bosmos pitting. Geordie has hit the wall, and he's managed to turn it back around. But,
Second time, Geordie's seen himself spun around and either close to a barrier or in the barrier, struggling in Singapore. I've noticed that drivers yesterday were mourning about how difficult it is on the rears under a race pace, whether that being set up or tyres. But the rears are certainly being punished around Marina Bay Street Circuit. And with it being a street circuit, you expect higher tyre drag as well.
Yeah, and it's much more difficult to manage the tyres from another aspect because of the track temperature. Now, in night races like Vegas, you can get barely any temperature in because it's so cold. But around here, it's nighttime, but it's still so warm that the tyres are still overheating everywhere.
Yeah, it's very humid as well, so it adds to the heat. There's nothing in the air to keep you cool. You're keeping the car cool. It's more like a British summer weather where it's very, very humid, very, very dry heat. And that really punishes those tyres.
Just a lot warmer still, even at night. And like, God forbid, like, there's a reason they didn't race during the day here. And the fact that they used to host Bahrain in the day and Abu Dhabi.
It was on record, that, wasn't it? With the hottest race in history, one of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
I think it was 41 degrees, but Ricky's just had a brilliant shout here. Bosmos has gone for the undercut, and that could be the race result here. As Marius Anderson pits, and we'll see where does the boss of the Moss come out in relation to the championship leader.
Well, he is coming into Sector 3 now. He's coming up to 16-17 chicane as Marius Anderson is starting to make a move down the pit lane out of his box with those tyres well equipped. Bobby Leons goes through, also going for that two-stop strategy. Here goes Boss Moss out of the final turn, powering down that start-finish straight as Marius Anderson is now coming out of the pit lane. I think Marius has done just enough
Yeah,
to stay ahead.
just enough. But look, but he's gonna have the warmer
Oh!
tires. Boss Moss is gonna have warmer tires, more grip. DRS now down the Raffles Boulevard, and who's gonna be the lead car of these two into Memorial? I think it's most likely Boss Moss, but he's not gaining enough with the DRS. I think he burnt everything on that lap with the hope of getting the undercut on Marius Anderson, and now he's stuck behind.
Yeah, Marius as well. He saved the battery, just burnt it all down Raffles Boulevard to keep that Mercedes behind. It could have been perfect, but Boss Moss is still in a good position here. It was Ratti and Marius Anderson leading the way, apart from that turn one disaster moment, which I hope to see in the steward's room so I can see the POVs of that and see how cheeky that actually was. But Boss Moss is in a perfect position here.
Yeah, Lawrence saying Max for the win, and Ricky with the same statement I made before. Possible, but the traffic, as Marius and Boss Moss kind of have, what, 7 seconds? I mean, they didn't come out in traffic, that's the thing. Oh, I've just realised Bobby technically doesn't need to stop again. He could, in theory, if he wants, go to the end.
I mean, it's well over 20 laps. He boxed around lap 8, 22 laps, 23 laps on those hards. That's some margin. Punchy territory, he's going to be clenching those cheeks. That's a fact if he does try and stick this out.
Yeah, Max, though, will have fresh tyres by the time the hards are around 40. So, convincing arguments from both parties. It's like a debate. And look at his train behind Jay Ghosts, actually. We got Eric and Ratti. Has Eric fixed his wing? He has. So he's going to be a little bit more down on straight line speed. But yeah, no moves able to be made. He does just pick up a 3-second time penalty. I believe that's Eric now on 6 seconds. Oh no, he's on 13 seconds. Alex is on 3, Geordie's on 3, and Ashton's on 3. So there's your penalties run down. And I don't know. Maybe.
Ooh.
Oh, that was very close. Eric, you lucky boy.
My. It just goes to show you how treacherous the Anderson Bridge is and how close these barriers are from ending your race. He tapped it with his rear left tyre. He just got so close, a little bit of a wobble to keep that front end away and keep those end plates, and just tapped it with that rear tyre. Now, that's what you want to do. You'd rather hit it with the back end than you would on the front end, because the back end can take the hit, can take the impact and survive in the game more than the front end can. You pick up wing damage in a track like this, you're losing time. And with Ratti breathing down your neck, one of the championship contenders, pressure is on your shoulders.
Ratty's had no luck since I've, come back from the United States. Last race, he got crashed out. This race, he got crashed out. It's that simple, but he is very close now to Eric. Could potentially see a move into Memorial. Yes, we do. And side by side they go. And no, I've jinxed it! No!
No. Once again, it's disaster for McLaren. Ratti comes into blows with Eric. He died to the inside, maybe just a little bit too deep. Maybe that's for him to blame. And he's lost out of position a massive time to where he was. That's unfortunate for Ratti, but all his own doing, I believe, from the angle that I saw. I mean, he was just a bit optimistic there.
Yeah. Went in a bit hot, got, a bit, he saw, oh, there's a gap. And he was long side, but he just couldn't get the car turned in enough. And I was just saying he's had no luck, and then he spins again.
It's been a McLaren disaster in this Grand Prix. You've got Bobby Leons. If he can stick it out, like you say, is net leader, is provisional race leader.
He's been caught by 5 seconds since he's been caught over a second a lap. So
Well, it's like I was saying earlier with the two-stop, with the tyre difference. It's only a couple laps. Like what, 8 laps between Marius and Bobby? 7 laps between those two? And look at the difference. 6 laps. Look at the difference in 6 laps of tyre wear. He's dropped a second a lap as Marius Anderson. That just goes to show you the difference and how it can pay dividends to do the two-stop. So Bobby Lyons, however you say that, I don't know the football team. I don't do football. I'm a man.
yeah. The worst part is it's a French team.
But again, I don't do football, so whatever that is, Bobby's still well and truly in this with the strategy, I'd say.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll be a pit stop behind these guys. That's the thing. Marius and Bosmos were already comfortably ahead. Oh! Bobby having a poor exit there. I think Marius just didn't expect him to be that slow off of the corner. He forces the McLaren all the way to the right-hand side of the track. But Marius Anderson is up and in to P2. And as I called it, Max Housley pits on lap 18.
VRL.
Oh, Bosmos is going side by side. Bosmos try to move into the final corner, manages to get ahead with the DRS.
So spicy information in the chat. It's pronounced Lions. Apparently.
Yeah, but I know the guy and he likes to disagree with me.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It's Jack Brassington.
Oh, is it? Hola.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
But yeah, it probably is Lions. I don't know. It's the fact that it says AFC, which makes me think it's Lyon for the football team. But anyways, enough about football. This is F1.
Yeah.
Eric, still not getting close enough. It's like he had all the straight lines. Oh, he's an Arsenal fan. Oh, right. Okay.
So is his name Bobby Lyons and he's an Arsenal fan?
Yeah.
Wait, so he's called Bobby Leon?
Bobby Leon.
Leon,
oh my God.
and he's an Arsenal fan, right? So we have been tremendously wrong for this entire stream. It's not Lions or...
Oh no, it's not. It's Lions. This is, this is the real entertainment.
Right, yeah. I'm just gonna call him Bobby.
This is like
just
endurance race level. Oh well, Bobby is coming into. Oh, he's gone over the white line.
Huh?
He went over the white line, so I'm not going to say anything more, but he massively missed it. And there we go. Obby's name. Who did the poll and who misspelt it?
How do you pronounce Obby's name? I don't know. Who are we talking about here?
Who missed the pit entry?
No, we've got a vote. We've got a vote going in the chat. How do you pronounce Obby's name? So
no, they've misspelt Bobby.
Obby's name. Let's Obby.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, that's it. From now on, Bobby is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've just tapped out. Whoops. There we go.
Well, Obi-Wan Kenobi has done his two-stop strategy, and now it's interesting to see where he's going to play out.
He's done another set of hards.
11 laps. I mean, that's got to just show you how bad the medium drop-off is if he's gone to hards here. Harder tyre allocation, extra set of hard tyres over the mediums. He's done, what, medium, hard?
What happened to Jordan? He's dropped from P5 to P10.
Has he boxed? Or has he had a moment?
I think he's had a moment.
Aye, Bobby.
He spun last corner. Alright. We were too busy talking about Bobby. But also Max Housley is right on the gearbox now of Banana. So...
Closing under DRS, just not close enough into turn 1, but has another chance coming out of turn 5. So keep your eyes peeled for that as we get down Raffles Boulevard.
Jordan's struggling with setup. Potential banana skin here. I like it, Ricky. This is this is brilliant. And Max Housley's going to go to the outside. Can he get past the Mercedes man? No. Not no. Yes, he literally got past him. What am I saying? And Jordan has retired. Yeah. So, unfortunate there for Mr. J Ghost. What that does do is it promotes Ashton the Brit up into the points.
And while all that was going on, we have PW Jones and Ratty scrapping away ever so nicely.
Again, so Ratty spun and has caught back up to Jonesy. You can do with that information what you will. But
there's only one McLaren on the top here, and the second McLaren is shaking his fist at the top at the moment with that disaster start. I mean, I don't know what to say regarding that. It's like the second or third time the McLarens have come to blows this season.
Did
really,
they crash along the way?
They crashed in Austria.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that, so that's why I was confused.
There was a TikTok made of that. Marius sent it a little too deep and took out his teammate. They've crashed in Miami Turn 1.
Oh, wait, that's how Ratty spun!
They crashed in Miami Turn 1.
No!
If you remember. They've crashed again in Singapore Turn 1.
Is that 3 in a row?
I think that is 3 in a row.
3 races in a row that the McLarens have crashed.
So, it's looking a little bit scrappy between the Papaya boys.
Yeah. Bit awkward, isn't it?
A little bit. I wonder if they're having team talks.
Yeah. But what have we got going on? We've got a... Oh, is that Sauber lapped? Oh. Yeah, Geordie is lapped. Oh, Ratty just crashed.
Ratty's round.
He's not having a good time. I've just looked on the camera and I've got a board spot. But yeah, Ratty having a stinker here.
Peter in the driver's stand is not looking too good right now for Ratty. He dropped it again. He's done a full 180 just as we got on the entry to the Anderson Bridge. Now he needs to get himself back pointing in the right direction. It wouldn't surprise me to see this McLaren head to the pits and retire. He's just not feeling too shabby here tonight.
It would surprise me because if you think about it, it's in a title fight. Every point matters. Because if he retires and loses the race loses the championship by like 1 or 2 points, he's going to be kicking himself, isn't he?
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I mean, he's still in the points. He's still going to score 2 crucial points. And he, like you say, he's in that championship fight. And with Lawrence, the third driver in that fight, not here, it's more like Glitched Hen who's going to benefit a little bit more. But he's just, I don't know, P5, what's that, 10 points? It's not enough to jump ahead of Ratty, I don't believe, but still enough to get a little bit closer.
Oh, he's just broken
he's into the he's done. He's done. Yeah, I say it wouldn't surprise me. It can be very frustrating for drivers to have a lot of moments, a lot of incidents, and if you're not in the right headspace, it just hinders your race dramatically, and you can't seem to keep it together after that. You just got it on your head, and you're agitated, you're driving angry in that sense, and you can't focus. And the poll has ended. Our survey says it's a tie, 50-50. It's Lion or Leons.
So Lions.
Lions.
Or
That's what we're going with.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby's out! Safety car! Just after Ratty retired, Bobby's crashed on the Singapore sling.
Well then. It looks like Mr. Leons is not...
He saw the pole and gave up.
He's not finishing. Yeah, I suppose you can tell us now. He can get in the chat and tell us, what's your last name? How'd you say it? Lions?
See if anybody... Marius on more hards.
Well, this is interesting. This is interesting. The strategy.
Max on hard. This might be in Boss Moss's hands here. Banana are going on to mediums. We could have a Mercedes 1-2. Like, seriously.
Well, who saw that coming?
Glitched Hen P5. He's on the mediums. PW Jones onto mediums.
Eric mediums. Yeah. Ashton the Brit. He's in the box.
Ashton's P8. Go on, lad. Go on, lad. That's brilliant. Giving the commentary boys a good rap.
Oh no, Ashton's not in the box.
Ashton will surely come in.
I mean, they're going to lose nothing from it. He's going to catch the back of the
No,
field.
he'll lose out to Alex.
2 lackable mediums for Alex. He's boxed, so you
Yeah.
won't lose out, actually.
Swifty's on the softs.
That's brave.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it as it is.
Cards.
That's
Cards
brave.
for Ashton.
Alex on softs.
Have you also got that glitch where you don't see the car pull out of the pits and they just teleport eventually?
No. No, I wasn't on board with them. I just seen the tyre graphic change.
Well, could be a while before we see these guys, the safety car come in. We've got, in theory, until the end of lap 26, so... Yeah. Not as bad as the Singapore pit lane glitch. What? I don't even know about that. What happened there? No, not an arming strategy. Oh! Oh, okay. Yeah, that was always a thing. I remember looking at Reddit back then. It was a common glitch in all the pit lanes. The drivers would go through the actual pit buildings.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I got it a few times in career mode, I think.
Yeah, games had its well-known issues and bugs throughout the years.
Like not being able to invite people. You know.
Yeah, I remember.
Kind of the base function.
If I actually have a TikTok about that, the teleporting to the centre of the main straight, which cost me a DNF in a practice session. I started to drive out of the pit lane, got about, I don't know, 20 feet down the pit lane after leaving my box, and then teleported to the centre of the start-finish straight and got rear-ended by a Kevin Magnussen. And I have a TikTok on that on my account somewhere. So yeah, you're absolutely right about that on the 21. Is when you used to teleport into the middle of the start-finish straight. That was a well-known bug.
Not to nitpick, but you said he got rear-ended by Magnussen. That can't have been F1.
Not Magnussen. It was a Haas, so it would have been
Schumacher or Mazepin.
Schumacher. It would have been Schumacher.
Yeah.
It was one of them. I can't remember.
good old
Right, it was
Russian
4 years
flag.
ago. We've got to take this into consideration. It was 4 years ago.
Oh my god.
21 game. This was a while ago. Well, there was
Yeah,
a TikTok out there with I have faced that bug.
Here's the thing that'll mess with your head. Robert Kubica has almost now gone 4 years without since he reserved for Alfa Romeo.
Oh my word.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like 4 years ago.
We'll take our eyes back to this safety car train leading us away. Take it away, Bert. Give us the fastest lap possible. Although it's in this game very slow.
It looked fine from off-board, Ratty, but
Ratty, if you read the rules, you'll know that you can do something about that.
yeah.
That's all I'm going to say in the chat regarding that. If you've looked at the rulebook, you will notice that you can do something about that, but it's not on the admins to do anything about. It's for you to do something about the driver itself. That is a stewarding process. So,
Who's Stewart?
hey,
Who's Stewart?
I am head steward.
No, you said stewarding, and then.
Oh yeah, stewarding. That is a stewarding process. So if you have issues regarding connections, take a look at the rulebook. Look at my Bible and let me preach, my child.
I have an inquiry for you, Corey.
Yes, indeed.
What is the rule regarding the leader's gap to the safety car? Because safety car went through, was on the exit of turn 1, and Marius hadn't even turned in yet.
I think it's 10 car lengths standard.
It looked borderline, but yeah.
I think standard is 10 car lengths, yeah. No more than 10. Obviously, when the safety car's coming into the pits, you are allowed to be slow, but there is a minimum speed that you must maintain. You cannot drop below that. You cannot become stationary, suddenly stop on the track, even if it is to give the safety car a bigger gap. There is a full rule procedure on safety car restarts as he's bridging a gap again, once again, but again, this is for drivers to make it known to stewards. So, drivers, you are responsible for anything that you think is out of place, anything that you think is worthy of penalising. It is on you to report. This is a big factor that a lot of drivers seem to forget. We will not police the races. It is up to you to determine if it should be reported or not. If you think it is against the rules, then send in the ticket.
Swifty and Geordie are not going to catch the safety car.
At
Swifty
this
might.
rate, Swifty may... No. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Swifty might. I don't know if Geordie will.
Geordie won't.
But saying that, they've had to push on those softs. They've already used them up a little bit.
Yeah. But Marius Anderson is going to take us away. We're going to have 5 laps of racing to end this Grand Prix. So it's going to be 5 laps of all-out carnage. Oh, Eric gets a 10-second time penalty. I think he's rear-ended PW Jones.
Has he got damage? That is the question.
I'm trying to tell.
But I am on board with Boss Moss, as I think Marius Anderson has took us away. Boss Moss was not caught out, neither was Max Housley, just a half a second gap. A bit bigger than what you'd like to expect, but I think Max is just playing it safe on the restart, doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks. Needs to bring those tyres into a good window to fight against the mediums behind of Banana, Glitch, PW Jones and Eric as they tries to close back in. That looks like Boss Moss having a little bit of a wobble and a squabble there, coming out of turn number 4. Around turn number 5 we go, tries to close back up to the back of that McLaren. So far, excuse me, a clean getaway for everybody.
Yeah, into turn 7, Boss Moss within 2/10 on the entry, not able to go for a move. Banana tried a move on Max Housley, now under pressure from Glitch 10. They're going to go side by side through Stamford and now into Padang. Banana has managed to keep ahead, and PW Jones actually had a look at Glitch 10 on the exit of turn 8. But Boss Moss is in prime position on the better tyres at the minute, and oof, look very close.
I think Eric's getting a little bit racy as well, all over the back of PW Jones. Was looking for an outside line, didn't come his way.
Eric's got 16 seconds even now, so...
Oh, he's looking for it! Oh, contact with PW Jones there, almost ended both of them. Jonesy keeping his car controlled very, very well. Eric's getting racy, even with those penalties. PW Jones gives him a little tap on the rear saying, give me some space, mate, as he comes back through 16-17 and maintains that P6 so far.
That's the most punchy I've ever seen Paul race. That is incredible there. But Boss Moss is going to have DRS. Banana picks up a time penalty, which is going to be crucial for Max Housley's podium chances. But has Boss Moss ever won in Tier 1 before?
I think he has. Whether it be last season or season prior. Boss Moss is a returning driver, and we do see him go side by side with Marius Anderson. To the inside they go! Marius Anderson tried to make it and defend it, but couldn't. Boss Moss goes through. That's a position gain. Now he just needs to defend it for these final 3 laps.
The question is, can he do that with the DRS that Marius Anderson's going to have as he has a massive understeer through Padang and nearly hits the wall on the exit through the Singapore sling? I think Boss Moss is just going to turn on the taps here. And he's already got an 8/10, 9/10 gap into the exit of the Anderson Bridge. Geordie picks up another 3-second time penalty. And yeah, Marius is going to really struggle to hold on. Might be under pressure from Max Housley potentially. And Swifty has crashed and retired from the race. No safety car has been deployed there. But
well, that's good, because normally you can't see a safety car in the final closing laps. I think we've hit the threshold. If the safety car was to come out, it would end under safety car, I think.
No, so if the safety car came out then, if it came out then, we'd go around once, and on the end of lap 29, it would come in.
We're on... Well,
yeah. Now
no, it has to complete a full lap. It would come in at the end of 30. And we have to have 2 racing laps, so we've passed the threshold. It has to complete 1 full lap. So if it was to go full safety car, it would come in the end of lap 30, with it coming out on 29. So Yeah, he would. We're past that. We're way past that threshold now. No safety car will be deployed, but for now it's for Bossmos to try and bridge a gap, which is 6 tenths and closing, as Marius Anderson has that DRS and managed to stay within the cusp and able to maybe fight back later on as we get going into these final closing laps.
Jones is on for P4 here.
With the time penalties, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we say, it keeps his nose clean.
Yeah. Banana has dropped away from Max Housley, and Marius Anderson seems to have found his feet with the hard tyres. So this is definitely not over yet. Boss Moss leading the way, looking for his first win of his campaign this season. Marius Anderson looking for his, I want to say, third win? He's had 2, I think, so far.
I think so. I think you might be right on that one.
Yeah.
Marius Anderson can get another win. It just helps him along in this championship fight, which sees his current rival and teammate not finishing the Grand Prix after he's had an absolute disaster. Only one McLaren in contention for a good points finish. The other sits himself down with a cup of tea, tries to relax from that stressful event. And now, as we take our eyes back to the front of the grid to start the penultimate lap, is Marius Anderson going to try and make a move here and now, or is he going to wait for that final lap? Recharge the battery, get into that position. It's been a long game of strategy and mind games for these drivers to get themselves in the optimum position. Bossmos has been beautiful all the way through this Grand Prix. Tried an undercut, didn't really work out, had to sit behind Marius Anderson for a bit longer after he burnt all the battery trying to get ahead of him when Marius did choose to box. And now Bossmos is leading the way. It's been a beautiful Grand Prix so far for the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, he's got, all these nice tight corners where you can't really be overtaken unless you make a significant mistake or there is this, significant difference in car performance. And then he's got, in total, what will be 6 straights to defend. So, yeah, as long as he is able to save his battery, he should be all right. The main place where he's got to watch out is obviously down Raffles Boulevard and into Memorial for turn 7. And the thing is as well, of course, I'm not ruling out the possibility of Marius and Bossmos crashing.
Well, of course, Max Housley's had 2 in a row, and he's certainly a contender for race victories. If they do crash, he's just going to stay out of it, keep his nose out of trouble. Here goes Marius Anderson to the inside, into turn 1 on the final lap, takes the position here and now, and sacrifices DRS to Bossmos as we get around turn 4 towards Ruffles Boulevard. This could be Bossmos's to take the position back here and now. He's close enough. Is he close enough? It's around 4 tenths. He's going to have to burn the battery, do everything that he can. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to pull this one off. He's gaining. And as we get down towards turn 7, not close enough, Ryan. This might be Marius's win.
All depends on the rest of the lap. No mistakes for any of the drivers here. Otherwise, the dream is over. And poor Max, there's not much he can do to get involved in this fight because it's just watching P2 pull, into the slipstream with the DRS. He can't really gain on that P2 car, but it's certainly looking good. There's still 2 DRS zones to go and 2 heavy braking zones for that matter. So double DRS. Bossmos, regardless, will have DRS into both of these straights, and I don't think he's close enough. No, he's not.
Nah, he's not got a chance. It's been beautiful for Marius Anderson. I think Paul Sitter, after that dramatic turn 1 event, has kept it clean all the way through from there and has been fighting along on the strategy, trying to make it work, crosses the final corners for the last time, hits that finish line and takes another victory to extend that championship lead. Bossmos doing it well for Mercedes, which is crucial in constructors to say the least, with Max Housley securing yet another podium for the Aston Martin driver. PW Jones in 4th again. I think that's 2 P4s in a row. And then Banana, the Mercedes teammate, lining up in 5th. We'll get back to the results when it shows them those on our screen.
Ashton was P7 there. I think even with, obviously, Eric did retire over the line when he left the session. He'll be reinstated, but with the penalty difference, I think Ashton still gets P7 there, which is a brilliant result for him and massively helps Alpine, of course. So Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Glitch 10 in P6 as well. Not doing too well in this one, but Alex getting in P8 scoring points as well for Ferrari. It is very much needed as we get ready to head over to round 8, which is, of course, that backwards Silverstone, the one I've been waiting for the most. We'll take a look at the calendar a little later on if people would like to see what is yet to come. But we've shown it so many times this season. I feel like I keep showing the calendar and everybody already knows what's to come. All I can tell you is that Silverstone Reverse is the next track to be raced at, and that is something that I am certainly looking forward to for the first time in history. Along all the leagues given in the F125 game, you see reverse options for races. But finishing off the order, you have from Ashton the Brit, Alex, Geordie, and Eric Paul doing the top 10. Then DNFing, you have Swifty, Bobby, Lions. I'm going to go with Lions. Ratty and Jagos being the 14 that made it. Mariam Jonas would have made it 15, but unfortunately was hit with that load shedding being in South Africa, had a power cut and just could not make the Grand Prix. I mean, you can't race if you've no console, PC, whatever it is to race on. So no harm, no foul to him. He did try to show up, and of course things happen out of control. But now we head to the interview room and let's have a quick little chat with our top 3.
I've just tried to auto form a game and I think I've broken it.
Yeah, that happens to me quite a lot. I like to alt F4. Sometimes I've alt F4 and it's ended the stream.
Oh, yeah, you have to be careful what you tapped into, don't you?
Yeah. So like I'll be like, oh, we'll go to the interview room. Alt F4 stream gone.
Bang.
Yeah, bang, and it's gone. But now I'm going to ping those drivers to see if we have interviews. So we have Marius Anderson, Boss Moss, and it was Max Housley.
Yep.
Not Max Law. Max Law wasn't here today. It is Max Housley.
Did you tag the wrong Max?
No, almost. So
I,
as we
I
were,
love how like brutal it is. Interviews, waiting room.
new. It is not compulsory. I don't think we'll have Max joining us, the finish fine in position, but we do have your race victor. We'll get going straight out with pole sitter and race victor Marius Anderson joining us in the booth, taking that pole position, much needed, and race victory to help along in the championship, further extending the lead over your teammate after a controversial turn 1 incident. Let's have your thoughts on that. How was qualifying in the wet conditions?
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, I don't know where the wet pace came from, but it was there apparently, and I'll take that.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful to get that 1-2 again for McLaren, looking to be a dominant team. But I have got to say, 3 races, 3 lots of contact between you two. Are you communicating in VCs? Any sort of team orders going on?
Yeah, I mean, we try not to use team orders, but we definitely communicate.
So how was the thought on that? I'm trying to get the details. You know how it is as a commentator. We're trying to get the spicy information around the
Yeah.
outside into turn 1 contact with Ratti sent into the back of the field. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's of course awkward when it happens. You know, you always feel partially it's your fault, especially when it's your teammate. But in a race like that, you just have to move on and then talk about it after the race.
But again, it was still a very good victory to pull out, and another one to get under the belt and extend that championship lead. Congratulations on the victory and a well-run race and strategy from yourself. I'll pass you on to Ryan for any questions.
No further questions really. I think you covered the basis there, Corey. But yeah, just congratulations on the win and the extension of your championship lead.
Thanks, mate.
I'm trying to get Boss Moss back in. He was in a second ago. So yeah, congratulations to Marius for the race victory. We was trying to get Boss Moss in for his interview, but he was in the waiting room. I dragged him in, and then it disconnected him. So I've just pinged him again. If it doesn't work, then we can call it here and now. I'm just going to try and drag him in one more time. Hopefully that time it works. No, it's not working. Never mind. It doesn't work.
If he's on a console, it won't let you drag him. And
Uh,
the waiting room.
yeah. We may have to join the waiting room for that one, or we just call it here and now to stop any randomer joining in on stream. Maybe we could look at trying to fix that next time out. But for now,
Make it open if you can, he said.
all right, let me make it open. I just don't want randos to join. If they do join, they'll be immediately kicked. It is currently open. Just
There we go.
is he in? He's in. Here we are, Boss Mars, P2, and a well-ran race thus far. Tried to go for that undercut strategy, but didn't work out in the end. Marius just able to stay ahead. How is your thoughts on that Grand Prix?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great race. Obviously stuck by Marius for the whole race, so it's honestly with this game, it's hard to get by, but I'll definitely take a P2.
How was qualifying for you in the wet conditions? I asked Marius the same thing.
Well, I'm not the greatest in the wets, but it was. I don't know. It just wasn't the best, but managed to get P3, so I'll take that.
Well, yeah, and again, the strategy played in your favour. Managed to stick there in P2 all the way, and on the last lap, that safety car going to the mediums could have paid dividends, but I just don't think it was working for you. Were they dead at the end there?
Oh no, I was pushing too much, so they were overheating. But yeah, congrats to Marius for the win.
Beautiful stuff. Anything from yourself there, Ryan?
No further questions. Just how are you looking forward to the Silverstone reverse? Actually, there's a question. I lied.
I'm not looking forward to it because I've literally had no practice on it. So yeah, it's not going to be the best, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, sounds good. Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
And that will do us. We'll wrap it up here and now. But be sure to join us next week on Monday for Division 3, joined by Ashton the Brit, the driver you saw on the track here today. He's also driven in Division 2 and also drives in Division 1 as a reserve. And your Division 3 commentator, the unofficial but maybe official later on down the line in seasons to come. Depends on your sign-ups. Get yourself down here as well. We mentioned the AI levels, which you can now see on your screen once again when we get past our fancy little transition. For Mondays, you're looking at 70 to 90 AI. Tuesdays, 90 to 105. And then Wednesdays, 105 to 110. If that's how you are going to... Oh, never mind. It's a break week next week for D3. Join us next week on Tuesday for D2. Then D3 will come back the week after. It is Silverstone Reverse, and that's going to be interesting. So, for now, that's all from me and you, Ryan.
I just want to end on one more thing, which is I've done the maths. Marius Anderson now has a 24-point lead as it stands on 101 points to what would be Max Housley's 77.
Oof.
So, yeah.
Oof.
There you go.
Well, he's certainly a contender for championship, and the McLarens will be dominant all the way through. And that's all we can say on that. We've still got 5 rounds to go. Anything can happen. Be sure to join us next time.